What's up, everyone? This is Gail Dudley with your news in motion. Today is Monday. Yes, it is November the 8th, 2021. How was your weekend? I heard them boys lost by a serious margin. I heard the Cleveland Browns won by a huge margin. And I heard some other things just happen. I don't know. But all I know is, y'all, them boys lost. They took a beating on yesterday. So come on in the room. Let me know how your weekend was going or how it went. And what do you have on the agenda for this week? We have so much to talk about today because this is National Donor Sabbath Takeover Week with News in Motion. I am your host, Gail Dudley. So come on in the room, y'all. Let me know who's in here. Whether you are watching us live or by replay, I'm just so glad you decided to hang out with me and let me just get into your home for just a moment or in your car because we're on every platform, whether it's audio or video. And I'm just so excited to be here and share with you all the news that's taken place. So let me see what some of you all are saying. I see you, Jeffrey Allen James. Good morning. Good morning, Damia. Good morning. Good morning, Katrina. Good morning, Dr. Kim Carter. Good morning, Diane Ladybug. Good morning, Dr. Oliver. Good morning, Hester and Deborah. Two Deborahs came in back to back. Good morning, Cherie. How's that Baltimore weather, girl? Good morning, Adrian. Good morning. Kim Carter says she attended Rise to Wealth Conference by Chase Bank. That sounds pretty good. Good morning. Team Ken, Diana Romper Room. Y'all must know what kind of week it is. Good morning, Kenny Stanley. Good morning, Yvonne. Good morning to all of you. I'm just so excited to see you. I had a great weekend as well. The sun here in Ohio was absolutely gorgeous. It was just amazing. And it made you want to get out and shop. And they were having some serious sales at the outlets in Delaware. They were amazing. Good morning, Kim Hill. Good morning, Pastor Antoinette. Another Baltimore person or Maryland person up in the house. Good morning. Good morning, John Gore. Good morning to you, brother. Let's see, a lot of you watch The Harder They Fall. Yeah. How many of you caught the name C.A. Bozeman on the train as the train went by or as they walked by the train? So that was something really interesting. That was, I thought, a great tribute as well. It says, wait, Gail, you were at the outlet malls? I sure was. Yes, I was. And wasn't in the car with you. Why? It was one of those things, real quick, y'all, we got a lot to do today. It was one of those things where I woke up and I said, it is gorgeous outside. What am I going to do? And I decided I'm going to just go. I thought I was going to go walk around the outlet mall. Got into a little bit of trouble, but it was all good because there was some serious sales. I mean, serious sales. So anyway, just having a good time. Oh, Sharisa, how about those Ravens? Okay, I didn't catch that score, but okay. I see you, Cassandra. I see y'all coming up in here. All right, y'all, we have a great week, and we're going to kick it off today. You'll hear from him in just a few moments. He is in the virtual green room with Dr. Victor M. I always like to say his middle name, but I'm going to be nice today and just say M. Davis. And already he's cutting up with me just when we were checking lights and microphones. So I know we're in for a good time on today. Yes, we are. Let's see. John Gore said, good morning, Lewis. Have to say a great win for, y'all talking to each other. I like that. Damia says, I like your kind of working out. Let me tell you, girl, got some steps in, Damia. Had to carry some bags. That's how you exercise. You know, you lift and take down, I got some cardio in, I got some weight training in, I got some walking in. Yeah, I got it all in. All right, y'all, today is Monday, November the 8th, 2021, and it's time for the weekend recap. And again, we have a National Donor Sabbath Takeover Week. It's amazing. Y'all just wait. Y'all just get ready, because I'm going to be calling us to action, something that we do every day on News in Motion. I am your host, Gail Dudley. I am just so excited to be here on this morning. So y'all know we do what we do. So let's get this baby started. Y'all know I talk about her all the time, and the girl is bad. Her name is Speaker Nancy Pelosi. She ain't playing with nobody. Right around 11:20 p.m. on Friday, that bill was signed and passed, understanding that she was going to give up three votes. Three of the progressives said, I ain't voting for this. But let me tell y'all this. They knew that they already had the numbers from the Republicans. 13 Republicans came over. So it became a bipartisan bill and it passed. Now, President Joe Biden said he will not sign it until after recess. So it will not be signed until everybody comes back after this week. So look for that. So late around 11:20 p.m., 1.7 trillion, that's with the T, infrastructure plan was passed in the House. Vote was 228 to 206. 13 Republicans, as I shared already, came over and signed on. The Senate passed the legislation 69 to 30. So even 30, there were some people from the GOP in the Senate came over as well. Well, what's in this bill? Well, airports are in the bill, water and waterways is in the bill, roads and bridges, passenger and freight rail, public transit, electric cars, vehicles, internet access is in it, modernizing the electric grind is in it as well. Now, if you really want to dig in and see what's all in the bill, go to this website right here, whitehouse.gov. They have it completely there for you. Don't take my word for it. Read it for yourself. Read it for yourself. The team told me that there's an image in here. They think we should just show you this image real quick. Bam, there she is. She walks with power. She does. That girl is bad. Yep, y'all, the $1 trillion infrastructure bill that now goes to President Joe Biden to sign into law has money for roads, bridges, ports, rail, transit, safe water, power grid, broadband, internet, and more. Y'all, they passed it late in the midnight hour, y'all. Speaker Pelosi lost, I'm sorry, I said 3 Dems. She lost 6 Dems on the vote, but 13 Republicans voted in favor. Now, y'all, just so that y'all know, I like to talk about it. The majority whip, Representative James Clyburn, y'all know he was whipping up all kinds of votes up in there. He was like, we doing this before we go home. So, you know, I think they have a little trick to this. We're going to keep them here late. They know it's recess. They know they want to go home. They're going to pass it. Y'all, the infighting, just so that you know, on the Democratic side, you have progressives and liberals and moderates and centrists. You had all that messed up in the chamber. Yep. Now, what I want to say to all of you, going into 2022, you better get your messaging straight. Yeah, y'all, the messaging is the key to moving forward. Here's a quote from Representative Brenda Lawrence, Democrat from Michigan. She says, and I quote, "This is going to be a defining moment for us as a Democratic Party to say we're going to build trust among each other. I'll tell you, it's been exhausting to hear all the different efforts to come together." She's telling us, she goes, this is a mess up in here. Yep. So they're going to have to fix their messaging. That's going to be key to move forward. All right, y'all. The White House is projecting that the investment will add on an average about 2 million jobs per year over the coming decades. Now, speaking of jobs, the U.S. expectations adding 531,000 jobs in October, while the unemployment rate ticked down from 4.8% to 4.6%. Job gains were sprinkled across the industries, with hospitality and leisure sector picking up about 164,000 jobs. Now, the labor force participation rate, which measures the share of adults with jobs or looking for work, hasn't improved. No, remember, 4.3 million said, I'm out back in August. They haven't come back either. Talking about coming back, welcome back. Beginning today, the U.S. is relaxing its restrictions on non-essential international travel for the first time since the pandemic began. Come on over here. Just make sure you're vaccinated. Visitors must be vaccinated by a shot approved by the FDA or the World Health Organization, and must present a negative COVID test within 72 hours. They got to do 2 things to get over here before you board that plane. Now, this is before their departure. There are a few exceptions, though, which is a little scary to me. Young people who live in countries where vaccines aren't as accessible. Okay, but we got to watch this. They need to make sure they have a negative COVID test. Yep. Airlines are excited. They're already waiting for their numbers to go up, but they're like, no fighting in the air, and you must wear a mask. That's happening. British Airways has already booked $1 billion in revenue, knowing that the borders will be open. London Heathrow and New York JFK Airport are saying they're already seeing an uptick from all the people who are booking their flights. Yep, that's happening. Home rental platform Varbo reported an increase of more than 160% in searches for U.S. vacation homes by foreign travelers. That's according to Travel and Leisure. They're like, get me out of here. So they're coming over here to hang out with us. They're already saying that retail is looking to increase. They just need to get those containers unpacked so that they can get the clothes they need, the luggage they need to come on over here and hang out with us. Woo, that was a whole lot. Y'all can tell I'm just so excited because I got Dr. Victor Marco Davis coming in to hang out with us. I love his middle name. So y'all, in other news, I just want to pause for a moment. We got to talk about Astro World Music Festival in Houston and Travis Scott. We got to talk about that. Y'all, it's very sad what happened in Houston. It's that 8 people died, hundreds were injured, and they're doing this investigation. Both the police chief and the mayor said they're going to get to the bottom of this. I don't get rushing to the stage. I don't understand any of that. But then we also have a security guard reported by CNN that after the crowd surged at the Houston concert that left 8 people dead and dozens injured, officials said they will investigate key causes that could have been done to get the attendees out of harm's way. The Houston Police Department tweeted on Sunday that the investigation to the tragedy is active and is in its early stages. One officer, I want y'all to hear this, one officer was struck in the neck during the concert while trying to restrain audience member. This security officer said he went unconscious after being struck in the neck. After investigation, it looks like he was injected with something. They found out other people had the same sort of injection in their neck as well. So y'all, not only do we have rushing of the stage, we also have somebody has some sort of needle injecting people. What the what? Is this what we're dealing with? Yes, Damir, this is horrifying. Yes, this is just crazy. I mean, it's just like, what is going on? What is drawing people to do this? And how can we, as everyday citizens, start having these conversations so we can turn some of this around? This is what's happening, y'all. Talking about all the positions and the school board and how so many were voted in to get rid of the critical race theory. What I want to say real quick before we go to our guest is this. We need to do our own education ourselves. So maybe that's back to Sunday school hour, Bible study hour, community gatherings, webinars, whatever that looks like. But here's the thing that's so important, because people are saying, well, they got voted in. What do we do now? Well, first of all, voting percentages were down tremendously. They were down. Even early voting, everything was down. But here's something you can do. Go to the PTO meetings, go to the PTA meetings, go check out your children, your nieces, nephews, cousins. You know, this is a village, and we need to start paying attention. And even if your children have left the nest, make sure if you are living in that particular area that you understand what's going on, when and where are the town halls. Make sure you show up, make sure you submit questions so that you can still be an advocate for your community. Because here's what's happening. Your tax dollars are a part of that school system. So y'all, we still have work to do. We just can't say, oh, well, it is what it is. No. And then we have to do what we need to do to make sure we are educating voters so that people do not just get those sound bites. They do not go onto Nextdoor app and get their politics there. They actually are getting the education from people who really care. Even if we disagree with what's being shared, we're having that conversation. We are at the table. All right, y'all. I know I went through a whole lot of news, but I am reserving the rest of this time for this brother right here. And it's going to be on and popping. Before we do that, I just want to throw this little intro in here just because. Watch this. so excited to be partnering, to be in this collaboration, this sponsorship with Lifeline of Ohio. So when we're talking about National Donors Sabbath Takeover Week, we're talking about the gift of giving life. And I'm so excited. The gift of giving life. I want you to hear this story, and then we'll bring on Dr. Victor Davis.
Register today at donatelifeohio.org.
Now, for those of you who are tuning in from other states, don't tune off, because there's going to be a call to action for you as well. We're just so excited to bring on Dr. Victor Davis of Trinity Baptist Church. He is the pastor there. He has served as pastor of the Trinity Baptist Church in Columbus, Ohio since August 1997. Through his leadership as pastor, preacher, and teacher, he leads the disciples of Trinity to proactive ministry that is committed to compelling the world to salvation and discipleship. Under the visionary leadership of Pastor Davis, the church ministry is Christ-centered and community-focused through several ministries. He also is on the advisory board for Lifeline of Ohio. This is evident through several ministries and community partnerships that addresses the need of those the church is called to serve in the community and around the world. The ministry of Trinity is a growing, diverse ministry that is committed to the transformation and growth of Christians. As I bring him on, if you want to learn more about him, go to this website right here to read everything that they're doing. And I will have to say, when I went to the website the other day, I said, as I bring him on, I said, Dr. Davis, your website got it going on. So good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you today?
Good. I see. Yeah. Okay. I was going to say, it's like you were slowly coming in here, but you're in here now. And I'm so glad that you are. I am so thankful. I know you're not a morning person. I know the preacher's rule that you don't come out on Monday, but whatever.
I don't know why you couldn't. I don't know why you couldn't do this like at 12 o'clock. Everything you said at 7:30, you could have said at 12 o'clock.
Whatever. Whatever, Dr. Davis. Look, I want to come out the gate because I want to give you as much time as possible. How has organ donation touched your specific congregation?
Oh, wow. That's a good question, Gail. And thank you for this opportunity to support the partnership with Lifeline of Ohio as we push National Sabbath Donation, National Donor Sabbath week, and this Sunday coming up, this Sabbath worship coming up for several of us. As you stated, I've been the pastor of Trinity for 24 years now, and several families in the congregation have been recipients of organ donations or have been donors themselves. One family in particular that I'm thinking of now has had 2 or 3 persons in their family receive kidney transplants, and they live productive lives until their demise. It affects our community and our church, particularly because it opens, when you have someone you know, it's right there in your face. You know, often we say that people don't understand something until they experience it themselves. And so for the Trinity family, we have several families who are recipients and donors that have been a part of organ donation that have given value and quality lives. Oh, what I was supposed to say something else.
No, I'm coming. I was sitting there like, wow. I love how you just brought that around. So I was going through some information, and what I came up with is that 38 countries in Ohio and 2 in West Virginia are served by Lifeline Ohio. Not only that, 1,500 donor names are mounted. So there's even a place where they can see the names on the wall.
Yes.
And then 78 hospitals support patients with the services. But here's the key number that I want everyone to pay attention to, and I would love for you to speak to this as well. 105,000 So more than 105,000 Americans are waiting for life-saving organ transplants. Hundreds more await tissue and cornea transplants. When you hear that number, what comes to your mind, and what can we do?
Thing that comes to my mind is that's for several communities in our state as well as our nation. That's the whole town. That's the whole city. And if these persons don't get these organ donations, lives are, in my opinion, end sooner than they should. In the Christian community, oftentimes people say, especially in the Black community, you hear them say, I came in this world with all of my limbs. I'm leaving out with all of my limbs.
Talk about that.
You hear them now. They may be a diabetic and have some limbs cut off, but they leave them with all their limbs. But they, you hear in different religions, and I don't want to get in that conversation, but different religions have different concepts and beliefs about receiving blood and those sorts of things. But let me say this as a Christian: God donated his son totally that we might have eternal life, flesh and blood. So why is it that if we believe scripture to say we would do even greater things, this opportunity for us to give living and donations to people where they can have living quality lives? The stories are phenomenal, where people have donated their children's hearts. Children die in an accident, and then they meet the person that received their heart, and their child is still living through that individual. What a great testimony of the power of God through medical science to give life and make it quality.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to make sure I said when I was giving this quote, 38 counties. I may have said countries. I meant to say counties, and 2 in West Virginia. Now, with what you're sharing, I want you to unpack that a little bit more. So you just took my questions another direction. That's what you do. You're always messing up people. I had my stuff all prepared.
I'm a Baptist preacher, So.
Yeah, you are. And I should have known. Hey, whatever. But anyway, so you took me another way. You are so true. So many people will say, no, this is mine. I'm not giving up anything. But they don't understand. You can't. Where are you going with it? Once you pass away, you pass away. Yeah. So what is that about our frame of thinking, our mindset, that we think we have to, maybe some degree, this may not be the right word, but I'm going to use it anyway. We have to hoard what we think that belongs to us, when it does not belong to us. It belongs to Jesus. So can you speak to that?
One is selfishness. Is a lack of education on our part, is a lack of understanding. And then, Gail, some of it may be how can I say it? It may be the knowledge of organ, what's the word I'm looking for? Where people are captured and their organs are taken from them unwillingly for other people to live, especially in third world countries where that happens. So it may be some of that. I don't know really, but most in our organization, in our culture, most of the time it's a lack of understanding, it's a lack of knowledge, it's a lack of reading and understanding. Like I said before, until your mama, your daddy, your child, your brother, your sister is in need of something, oftentimes you think totally different than you do prior to having that experience. And then people, as John Gore just said, people are just downright scared. They don't know what to expect. I grew up with a family in Fayetteville whose daughter at a young age needed a kidney transplant. Her brother donated that kidney like in his 20s. And she lived way into her 60s with that. And she died, but she didn't die from kidney failure, interestingly enough. And the brother is still living now, well in his 50s, living a normal life like anybody else. You would not know their story unless you were a part of the chapters that the story occurred in. So fear, lack of knowledge, lack of understanding, curious about the process, the cost, oftentimes, who's going to pay for it, all of that plays into why people don't, but we need to push why people do.
Right. Now, do you think, I'm going to put you to work here, Dr. Davis, do you think that that there should be a curriculum or something like that, or a Bible study where that's an ongoing conversation within congregations? Maybe you write a book and publish a book or something like that?
Yeah. Y'all see how she just threw that out there? Yes, if you ghostwrite for me, I'll be glad to do that.
Oh, now you want me to be a part of it.
Yes, because something simple like one donation can help 75 people. One tissue donation. Oftentimes one person's body has so many valuable gifts. It can help several people. I think yes, and Lifeline of Ohio has a lot of information that can help congregations understand and be an educational source for them. She's inching on this, and I'm going to be bold enough to say it, but the leader of those congregations have to be educated also. And in too many of our pulpits, we have pastors who are not enlightened, connected to those things that not only help their people spiritually, but help their people financially, physically, socially, economically. And I believe that as a pastor, I'm called to proclaim from the pulpit a holistic ministry that ministers to mind, body, and soul.
Yes. And I think if we start hearing things like this from the pulpit, people may not go home in their own little silos and become so fearful, as John Gore was saying, and talk themselves out of it. But if they're hearing their leader, if they're hearing that person within their circle of influence, if they're hearing that ongoing, I believe people may start having those conversations and say, okay, let me rethink this.
Yes.
And I love that you went there. And that's why let me tell you, you know my thoughts about you. You will put it out there. You don't care what nobody thinks. And I love that. I love that. So let me go over a few things because we're not done yet. I want to say that this can be for all of us a holiday donation, that we go to our BMV and put this on our driver's license. That's number one. The second thing I want all of us to do.
And Gail, and it costs nothing.
It costs nothing.
Free.
Thank you.
It costs nothing. All it costs is you to say, yes, I'll be an organ donor. And yes, I'll register to vote. You can do all that at the BMV.
And thank you for putting that in there too, because you can do it all at one drive. That's just a little bit of gas. Although gas is going up, you can go and take care of all of that. Yes, it costs nothing. Now, that putting on your license, your driver's license costs nothing. But my second thing I want us to do as a call to action, and I'm going there today, as we're getting ready to go shopping, let me tell y'all, the outlets were packed on Saturday and people were dropping some serious cash. I ain't had it to drop, but I was there having a good time. But I am calling all of you. I'm starting high and I'll come down. There's some of you who are viewing this saying, okay, what do I do this year? Containers are stuck somewhere. Come on. Victor Davis put on his wife, can't even find deodorant. The stuff is stuck. Toilet paper is disappearing again. Gifts are going to be different. Why not give a cash donation in memory of, in honor of, in love of somebody in your family? So I'm going to start all the way. I'm going to be just like I was raised in the Black church. This is where I'm going. So let's just say somebody on here, maybe there's several somebody's can say, you know what? I can donate $500 in honor of, in memory of, or whatever. Somebody else may say, well, I can donate $250. Somebody else may say, I can donate $50. Somebody else can say $25, all the way down to $5. No amount is too little. Then we also have somebody who could say, you know what, Gail, I can donate $5,000. Listen, y'all, the world today, we need to look at things differently. So not only do I want you to go and add that to your driver's license along with voting, as Dr. Davis said, but also look at what can I contribute financially? How can, because y'all, the contribution financially is tied to getting people out there and start educating people on the truth of what this really looks like and how this unfolds. Here are a few items of action. And again, you can go to their website and the ticker is going down on the bottom of the screen. But here's just a couple. Request a virtual presentation from one of the Lifeline of Ohio's community outreach coordinators. That's one thing you can do. And come into the classroom, come into the church, come into a community center. Another one is place an article in your organization's newsletter. This is all on their website. You can check it out. Another one is to send an email message with donation information to your members. That's something else you can do. Like and share Lifeline of Ohio posts and the donation related content on your social media sites. Y'all, very little, small, but tangible things that make a greater impact. So Dr. Davis, we have up here, Davia is saying it's also a lot for people to process. So can you talk about their whole thinking, their processing, and what it is? And I agree with you. Once you're in that situation, you're not thinking about any of that. But leading up to it, can you speak on that a little bit more?
Yeah, thank you, Davia. One of the things if you're educating prior to the incident, the family is able to have that conversation easier. It also depends upon who presents it to them. At the moment of a tragedy, people they're not in the mindset, if they've never heard it, to receive it. And they certainly, I'm gonna go there again, Gail, they certainly can't take it from, in the Black community, and that's what we're talking to, right? A lot. They can't take it from a white nurse or doctor. Have you considered donating your child or your family's organs? This thing comes up, and it might be vice versa. So the pastor, the religious leader, the faith leader, I think, and the community is responsible for educating, so that when that time comes, you're in the process of deciding. And I hate to be this, but it's true. Okay, I've lost my loved one suddenly. What funeral home am I going to? Who do I need to call? I got to call their jobs. I got to talk to their insurance personnel, all that kind of stuff. And I need to consider giving their organs for donating for life. We need to start thinking like that. In the list of things you need to do when a person dies, we need to add that right in there. First thing we think about going to the bank to get the money. Well, on the way to the bank, we need to call someone about donating their organs so that someone else can enjoy life such as they have.
Yeah, so much to say here. I want to go again and say 8 lives can be saved with more than 75 can be healed by one person. So again, 8 lives can be saved and more than 75 can be healed by one person. 700 Central Ohioans and more than 3,100 people across the state are waiting for organ transplants. Hundreds more await tissue and cornea transplant. 20 times a day, a man, woman, or child dies for a lack of an available organ. And this holiday season, this Christmas season, I'm asking you to become a donor. What an amazing gift. And that's how we need to start thinking about gifts. Again, I want to encourage everyone, donate. Again, go add that to your driver's license. And while you're there, if you haven't registered to vote, make sure you do that. And number 2, give a monetary donation as well. You can go to www.lifelineofohio.org to do that. You can do that all online. Well, Dr. Davis, again, thank you for hanging out with me today. And I'm not going to let you go that easily. So at the end of every segment, and you said you have tuned in before, I give an inspirational message.
Not this early. I didn't tune in. Now, let me say that. It was
you watched the replay. It's okay.
Yeah.
So I want you to give us, if you don't mind, I know I'm putting you on the spot, give us a quick inspirational message so that we can get through our day today.
I'll continue my sermon from yesterday. That one of the real I dealt with Acts chapter 3, verses 1 through 10 yesterday, when Peter and John were going through the beautiful gate on their way to worship. Understanding real quick that Peter and John were not poor. They were businessmen. They were fishermen. They were on their way to worship. They were good Jews. So they were men of the Torah. They were on their way to worship, and they did have an offering. And this beggar who was put by the gate daily by somebody who enabled him, there's a key word, enabled him, continue to lay him there at the gate so that he could beg and receive money from people who continued to enable him, which meant you had enablers and an enabled. Peter and John look at the man and say, silver and gold have we none. No, we don't have any money for you, but what we do have, we're going to help you be enabled to do for yourself. And too many times within our culture and our community, we're so busy being enablers because we have the need to be needed, and the person that is receiving it is constantly depending on us. Well, the Lord that I serve is giving you the power in Jesus' name to get up and walk. It's time for us to do it for ourselves. Quit making excuses, quit using labels, quit looking at the previous chapters in your life, quit rereading stuff you've already done, quit listening to negativity and pessimistic things in your life, and get up and walk so that you can go into the temple with all the marks in your life and worship like everybody else. That's my word for today. Don't be
I love it. I love it.
Send an offering after you make your donation to Lifeline of Ohio.
I love it. I'm so glad we kicked this week off with you.
Thank you, Gail. I've enjoyed
I know you're going to tell me I owe you. I know. So I'm going to be waiting for that phone call.
You do. It's a family thing. I'll get it from the family. I'll get it from the family. It's okay. It's okay.
It's okay. Listen, it's okay. I am so grateful. I'm so grateful that you decided to join us. Thank you so much for this
opportunity, and I hope the information we have shared, if just one person becomes a donor, we've accomplished what we needed to this morning.
Amen. Amen. All right, everybody, until tomorrow, I am Gail Dudley with your News in Motion. You know what we do, y'all. Stay well, everyone, and remember to make some bold moves. Peace out.
God bless you.